Hello friends, I welcome to my YouTube channel. First of all, I want to extend my thanks to each one of you for supporting and liking the video which I've uploaded yesterday on the structure or the components of a research paper. So in continuation to that video, now I would like to show you a research paper. Because what happens when I discuss only about something theoretically, we don't know what actually I'm talking about. So it's always better. And as a teachers, we should start giving examples to our students. So with reference to this, now this is a research paper which I have downloaded from the open source. Now, what do you mean by open source? The content which is easily available when you just tap on the Google and you easily get that content. Okay, otherwise what happens in the research world, there are few research papers for which we have no access until and unless we take the subscription or we have access to those journals. So this is a research paper titled Consumer Acceptance and Use of Information Technology, Extending the Unified Theory of Acceptance and Use of Technology. Okay, and this is published in MIS Quarterly. Now, MIS is a journal of management information system, a very reputed journal for such content. Now, when I talk about such content means this is something this article is about information technology. So if you try to publish a paper in the most relevant journal, definitely it gets more weightage and more reputation. Okay, so let's see. Now, when I read the title, we should know how to frame it and what the title is talking about. Now, this consumer acceptance and use of information technology, when you read the title, you easily understand that it is talking about a technology which is easily accepted by the consumer. Okay, and then extending the unified theory of acceptance and use of technology. Okay, इसको हम acronym में बोलते हैं UTAUT model. Okay, so if you have ever read this theory or if you have ever worked on this model, you will know what it is. Okay, so let's understand. तो हमें यहाँ पर क्या समझ आ रहा है कि this article or this research paper is about the consumer acceptance and use of information technology, and the authors have tried to extend one of the theory. Okay, it means there was already a theory and we are just trying to extend it. The author name is Viswanathan Venkatesh. Okay, then we have another second author and we have the third. Okay, so the person who is the first author generally gets the major credit. Okay, now, so this was the initial title and we understand what the title is about and we also understand what the research is going to be. Now, when we are going for review of literature or when we are trying to read something, I always suggest rather than reading 100 papers, even if you start initially with 4 to 5 good papers. Now, when I mention the word good papers, quality papers, it means papers which have been published in various journals, reputed journals such as we have Scopus, Springer. Okay, so as I'm from commerce and management, so what happens is I'll try to restrict myself to those journals as of now. Okay, if you're working in any multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary field, then definitely you know where to search. Okay, in the coming videos, I'll discuss how we can get access to those papers or from where we can find the names of the good journals. Okay, so let's read the abstract. Yesterday, I told you what is an abstract. It is a summary. So when I read this abstract, see it is how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines and the keywords. Okay, so this is a basically summarization of the entire 22 pages of the paper. So let's read. This paper extends the unified theory of acceptance and use of technology, UTAUT. Okay, so this model, एक model है जिसको हम extend करें. So basically this paper is an extension of the previous model to study acceptance and use of technology in a consumer context. It means the earlier studies must have not been in the consumer context. Okay, and this is about the study of acceptance and use of technology by the customers. Our proposed, now when they're talking our means the researchers. Our proposed UTAUT, so this is the revised modified model, incorporates, adds 3 constructs. Now when we use the word constructs, just remember when we do research, we have something called as variables and we have something called as constructs. Now what is construct? Suppose I'll give you customer satisfaction. Now when you cannot directly measure it, Okay, you need some statements which are called as indicators to measure that construct. Okay, now if I want to measure the satisfaction of a hotel, so what are the questions you are going to ask to your customers? Suppose you are asking about the quality of the food, the ambience, the environment of the hotel, okay, maybe how the food was served to you. So these are the series of statements which you are going to ask to your customers in order to measure the satisfaction. So a construct is something where you need the support of indicators or statements to measure something. So stress is again a construct. Okay, so just remember there's a difference between variables and constant. So here they are trying to incorporate, add three constructs into the UTA-UT model. It means the previous UTA model had some constructs, and now we have another three constructs in the revised model. So it talks about hedonic motivation, price value, and habit. You cannot directly measure what is hedonic motivation, price value, and habit. So we will have statements in the questionnaire to measure these three constructs. I hope now you know what are constructs. Individual differences. Now we know demographics play an important role. So here, which individual differences they have taken into account? The moderators. Okay, what are moderators? I'll explain you. Age, gender, and experience. Okay, I can say people who are very in the younger age, they are much more tech savvy. Okay, we can say it may happen that males or maybe females, either of them are heavily into usage of technology and experience. So definitely, if you are new to the technology, you will start exploring it more, and maybe with experience, you become expert. Okay, so their hypothesis means hypotheses have been framed. What are hypotheses? What are objectives? I will be explaining in my coming videos to moderate the effects of these constructs on behavioral intention and technology use. Okay, so what they're trying to do, they are using this demographics, okay, and they are framing hypotheses to check the effects, okay, of these constructs on behavioral intention, whether people are going to continue use this technology or not. So this is the picture, okay, abstract. What they're talking, that this is an extension of the previous theory. They have added three more constructs and what they are doing to the study. So results from a two-stage online survey. So they conducted an online survey with technology use data collected 4 months after the first survey of 1512 mobile internet consumers supported our model. Okay. Then compared to the original theory, UTA-UT, the extension proposed in this revised model produced a substantial improvement in the variance explained in behavioral intention. Now, what they are talking about, it means they are telling these three constructs are better in explaining the intention to use technology. Okay, so these are the technical words. Once you understand statistics, then only you can answer such questions. So a substantial improvement in the variance explained in behavioral intention. Earlier was 56%. With the addition of these three constructs, it improves to 74%. And technology use has increased from 40 to 52. The theoretical and managerial implications of these results are discussed. Okay, so the importance of this study and what can be done with the help of this study is explained. See, so this is an abstract. It hardly covers only 200 words. In simple line, they have explained what they're talking about, what was their question in mind, why they have incorporated three more constructs to the original study, from whom they have collected their data, okay, and what was the result. So this is how you are going to explain. Yesterday, I told you a little about the topic, okay. Then you can give the motivation for the study, that is the research question, what you wanted to achieve, how you achieved it, and finally, what were your findings. And in the last line, you can mention the contribution of the study or maybe what can be the further studies, okay. So I hope so I'm clear. Then what you can do is study the keywords. Now, these keywords are very important because now if I'm a reader to this theory, using these keywords, I'm going to search more literature on this. Okay. So we have unified theory of acceptance and use of technology, UTA-UT, then UTA-UT2, habit, because this is the name of the new construct, hedonic motivation, price value, mobile internet, consumer technology adoption. Now do a homework. Quickly go to the Google. You can type these keywords and I'm sure one of this paper will be in front of you, because this is how we can easily access. Okay, so this not only gives your paper the required visibility, but yes, it helps us to search a good paper as well. Okay, so if you are familiar to this theory, you can just type UTA-UT or UTA-UT2 and all the constants. Okay, now again, the paper starts with the introduction. As I yesterday told you, it gives you a brief background of the study. Okay, then the rationale of the topic, then what exactly work has been done till now and why we are proposing this study. So see, they see when you're using this PDF, you can always highlight it. So it becomes very important. Okay, see this here, they have given MIS quarterly. So this is the journal name, volume number 36, issue number 1, the page, because this is very much important for your references. Okay. So then your introduction, you can study this. They talk about the review of literature. Again, it depends upon the word limit, how much to write. So just understand, once you are about to start your research paper, you need to have a thorough understanding of the research language as it. Now, what this paper is talking about. From the abstract, I understand this is something related to UT and a second revised model. Okay, so they give you a brief description. So just read it, highlight whatever you feel it is good. And whenever you are reading it for the first time, you may not understand anything. But don't worry. And I always request that we should have a good command over on the language for which we are studying. Suppose you want to write in English, then definitely you should have a good command over the language. Okay. So now see, as the introduction part ends, they are giving a brief description of the background, the theory, what was all, because yes, we should know now why we are proposing 3 more constructs. Okay. Then comes the theoretical background. Okay, now what is theory? Now, suppose if you're a student from commerce management background, we all know there is a theory related to leadership or motivation. Okay, the very famous theory, popular theory is Abraham Maslow's theory, need hierarchy theory. Okay, then we have the revised model of that theory, ERG model. We have theory X and Y. We have various leadership theory. Using that as base, can you propose a study? Yes, we can do that. Okay, so the background of the theory. Then see, they have given us the original model. Okay, this is the proposed one. Okay, so these are the constructs which I was explaining, that we cannot directly measure performance expectancy. With the help of few statements, we'll be able to measure them. So we have performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, facilitating conditions, hedonic motivation, price value habit. When we are going to explain what do we mean by these constructs, that is operationalization of the definitions. A reader must be able to understand what is the meaning of performance expectancy and so on. Okay, then it is impacting behavioral intention. So this is our another construct. And finally, all this leads to usage behavior. Okay, where the people are going to adopt the technology, use the technology, and what are the intentions. Okay, then we have the moderators, age. These are the demographic variables, because yes, depending on the age, gender, and experience, the usage of the and acceptance of the technology may differ. So here they given us a note that this is moderated by age and gender, moderated by age, gender, and experience, moderated by age, gender, and experience. Effect on use behavior is moderated by age and experience, and new relationships are shown as darker line. Okay. As of now, you should not dig so much into it. First, you start reading the paper. Okay. Once you read the paper, once it becomes your habit to understand the research language, then you can move on to the next part. Okay. So as of now, just remember, this is our research model in the new theory. Okay, so whenever you need to give a source. Now, as this is from the researchers only study, otherwise, if you have taken this figure from any of the previous study, you need to give the source. Okay, so now they are explaining in detail all about the constructs, okay, and why they are using it and why they are proposing this study. Okay, then they're explaining the constructs. We are talking about the hedonic motivation, the experience and habit, price value, okay, and why we feel we should test this. Okay, so that is called as hypothesis. Now, what is hypothesis? What are objectives? I'll explain you in the coming videos. As of now, just remember, objectives help you to achieve something, what you want from your study, and hypotheses are your tentative statements which may be proven correct or not. Example, if I talk about hedonic motivation is the fun and pleasure which is derived from using a technology. If your application, mobile application is very interactive, it is giving you some benefit to use, you enjoy using that application, its usage may increase. Okay. So this is hypothesis development. So how we develop this hypothesis? Definitely it is from the theory. Okay. We also referred some previous studies and we have used this theory. Okay. Now coming back to the next. So this is what a research paper is. Okay. Today you can go online, you can put the title of the paper or whatever study. Suppose you want to propose a study on GST. Even if you simply type research papers on GST, you are going to get a quantity of papers, but we need to focus on different papers which give you the actual results and the quality papers. Okay, so this is a very popular paper in the research area, especially in this this UT model. Okay, so this is all about the hypothesis. Now, if you go through it, you can just start reading, highlight what you feel it is good. Okay, similarly, I've also highlighted because when we start reading, we don't understand. See, they have given the hypothesis and so on. So the paper is running into different pages. Then they're talking about impact of behavioral intention moderated by experience. Now, what are moderators? That also we can study in the coming videos. Then they talk about the research methodology. Okay, they are giving information, complete information. Okay, from how they measured it. Okay, what were the constructs? How was the questionnaire designed? Okay, who were the participants? How was the data collected? Even in the abstract, they have mentioned online survey was done and data from 1512 users were collected. Okay, then they explain the model which the results. Okay, then the measurement model, and then we see on the right hand side we have the structural model. So this only when you can understand. Abhi hame dharna nahi hai, because at once we start, will not come to know what is measurement model, what are results, what are findings. But as of now, I just want you to show you what a research paper is and how you can download it and how you can study. So see, they are giving you the result, PLS. Okay, what is PLS? Is it a tool? It is a technique. You should know that. Okay, in the coming videos, I'm going to discuss that all. So these are the results of the okay, what were the descriptive statistics, whether correlation, whatever was used. See, they have given the notes, which is you can read it. You can understand that why SEM model was used. Okay, and what were our results. Then later you come to know. After these results, then you can show what the table is all about. So you need to give explanation, because whatever findings we get, you need to give it a meaningful interpretation. Okay, as a lay person, I would understand the statistics, so we need to explain which of the factor or which of the construct was significantly contributing to the behavioral intention of the user. Okay, then they have stated the theoretical contribution. What is the contribution? Okay, from where they have taken the source, why this study is proposed, discussion होगा. फिर finally discussion मैंने आपको बताया था, you have to give your meaningful results. Okay, then later on what? See, just start reading, then only you will understand. Because even if I show you 10 papers, until and unless you yourself start, you will never progress. So limitations and futures research, what were the limitations? Okay, what were the limitations of weakness? Or maybe I can say, example, I've collected data from online users, so we have not covered those people who are not part of the study. Every research has some limitations. Okay, the general limitations are always the time constraints, the money constraints, and the contribution of this research paper to the theoretical work, to the academic knowledge, to the men. Now, suppose you are conducting a study for any, suppose a college or institution or corporate office. So you need to reveal that what is the contribution of my research to them. Okay, how my research is going to help them. Okay, maybe they can change some strategies. Suppose you're conducting a research for a company who are losing the customers, or maybe you are working in the area of human resource management where employees are regularly leaving the company. So you're just trying to identify the problems. Okay, later on, you are going to conclude the study, and conclusion is always from the study itself. You are not putting your own experience. Okay, so beautifully this paper, acknowledgement, they have given thank you to the people. Okay, now suppose you're getting a funding, you are a beneficiary of any fellowship, or maybe somebody has sponsored your PhD, or you are doing the PhD for some particular institution who are going to pay you. So you need to acknowledge that. Okay, and then we have the references. Now, when you started with the research paper, I won't tell you to read the entire paper, because if you have something in your mind, suppose you are working in the area of online teaching or maybe e-commerce, read the abstract, then to the conclusion. Once you feel that paper is worth your attention, then you can start reading those papers. Now, this is a landmark paper. So if you have reached at a level where you understand what is the landmark paper, the best paper, how to reach to the best paper, okay, or which theory I can use for my study, you just Google it. And trust me, with this Google age, we are bombarded with information. Okay, but if you should have a basic research background, and you should know that this theory can be applicable to which sector. Okay, we cannot just keep on mixing each and everything. So references, once you use the references, read the references, you will come to know, see, this is the author's name. Okay, there are 1 or 2 authors, then the year of the publication, the title of the research paper, then the name of the journal is always in italics. Now this 78 is the, you can say the volume number, issue number 1, and the page. So you can refer those sources. Now when you read, suppose here the paper is habits as knowledge structures, atomicity in goal directed behavior. Here you read, it talks about hedonic and utilitarian motivations for online retail shopping. So if you are reading about online retail shopping, here you can get one reference. Okay, then you can just go on the Google. If the paper is freely available, then definitely. So these are the references what are references, what are bibliography, what are citation, I'm going to explain you in the coming videos. So as of now, see, there is a question, the questionnaire has been given. Generally we always think कि questionnaire हमको कहाँ से मिलेगा, इन्होंने क्या questions बनाए थे, क्या data collect किया. So this, at the end they have stated this is very good and very helpful, because similarly also you can plan for your study. Okay, so here performance expecting the survey items. Appendix, what is appendix? Additional. Okay, what is additional here? What you have given as attachment. So survey items, performance expectancy. I find the mobile internet useful in my daily life. Using mobile internet increases my chances. So what is performance expectancy? It means that if you're going to use this technology, it is going to make your work very easier, and you are able to achieve your goals. Okay, so similarly, all this social influence. So when you read the paper, you will come to know what is facilitating condition, what is habit, behavioral intention. So this was the question. Okay, so I hope so you are clear that what is a research paper. I've given you a live example here. So I really thank you for like that you are loving my videos, and in fact I've got a suggestions also ki ma'am, I want from this topic, I from this. I hope so as my time permits, I'm definitely going to discuss all these things. Till this time, at least start writing a research paper. Okay, make it a habit as a teachers in the academics. When you're especially into the academics, you should daily read and write something. Okay, work on your language. Once upon a time we all were zero, we started with ABCD, and now we are able to read sentences. Okay, and so many things. So never fear and just start, and ensure that whatever you are doing, you are moving ahead in the right direction. It's okay कि हमें नहीं समझ आ रहा, हमें नहीं पता, कोई मुझ पर हंसेगा, वो डर बिल्कुल निकाल दो, बिकॉज एक टाइम पर किसी को कुछ नहीं आता था. बट जस्ट नेवर लूज योर कॉन्फिडेंस, एंड ये सोचिए कि मुझे करना ही है. और जब आप काम कर रहे हैं तो क्वालिटी काम करिए. लेट्स मेक आवरसेल्फ प्राउड. सो इफ यू लाइक माय वीडियो, पूरा देखिए, उसको जरूर देखिए, मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, एंड डू शेयर विथ योर फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो. टिल द टाइम, I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.